As of December 31st, 2015, the Bavarian copyright on the Mein Kampf expired, considering to be the most dangerous book in the world because of the ideological manifesto it provides and the extremist views it may spread.
Should governments be allowed to ban books? No. I don't think a government should be allowed to ban books. And if a government does ban books, then I think that speaks poorly of that government, and they have a mistrust of their people. I wouldn't want to be in a country that would ban books.
I don't believe that any government should be allowed to ban books. I'm pretty anti-censorship.
I don't think so. Books are books, and you shouldn't be allowed to ban them. People should be allowed to read, It's good for the mind, good for the soul.
I think that the government should be able to ban books because some books can be too dangerous and people can get ideas from it. And I don't think that would be safe for anyone.
I think that books are important to have, so I don't think that government should ban books. I do think that people should make good choices about what they read and what they allow, like younger people who may not be able to make those good choices, but not as a government as a whole to say nothing should be, or anything should be not published.
Well, I think publishing vulgar books can be educational in a couple ways. The first one is that, of course, if you want to make a strong argument against something, like if you want to argue against Hitler's worldview, for example, then it's better to be very familiar with the argument that he's putting out, right? So that's called a counter-argument, where you specifically attack the points that he makes, and of course you can't do that unless you read his book.
It can be educational because it teaches, like for this book we all read it, it teaches what happened in the past and something that we should never do.
I think publishing vulgar books gives you an understanding. The world is a very diverse place. People have lots of different ideas. In order to be educated, you need to know all types of ideas, and unfortunately sometimes that includes unpopular ideas. So I think it's better to read about those ideas and that vulgarity in a book than it would be to have to experience it in real life or to see it unfold in your country.
Mein Kampf is a worldwide book known by many as the beginning early ideas of Adolf Hitler and the book that ultimately led to the Holocaust, where 6 million Jews lost their lives, known to include ideas of the reunification of German-speaking Austria and the extremist views. Mein Kampf is considered to be very dangerous.
I think I'm for it. I'm for Mein Kampf being published. Just really for the reasons, I guess, that I stated earlier, is that, in order to really understand maybe why his worldview is so wrong or why we need to speak out against it, I think you have to know what it is. Most of us, like when I think of Mein Kampf, because I haven't read it, I just think of kind of this vaguely sort of anti-Semitic, dystopian, horrible, I just don't really know what's in it actually, and so I can't really make an argument against it because I don't really know.
I'm for it being published. I think it's important. It's a very important part of history. It's not a very fun part of history. It's a very dark time in history, but the more understanding we can have about that time, the more understanding we can have behind Hitler, I think it gives us more safeguards put in place today to see some warning signs that could be put in place. By knowing what's been published and by knowing those ideas that are out there, I think it helps prevent the resurgence of those ideas, or people can easily call them out again. We won't forget about those things.
I would be for it being published just because, again, we can learn from different perspectives and learn maybe what mistakes have been made and what should be avoided in the future. I mean, if we don't learn from our past, we can't learn what we should do or not do in the future.
Okay.
Well, people can get strange ideas from books that are published, but hopefully it's, if it's read in an educational setting and there is a good teacher to bring up the core ideas and to kind of introduce those ideas, that it can be done very well. It can be dangerous if you just grab a book off the shelf and you start reading it, and you can get dangerous ideas. It can be tough if you're not understanding what you're reading.
Publishing vulgar books can, I think, obviously be dangerous just depending on the audience. So if you get someone maybe who's already leaning a little bit in a racist direction or an anti-Semitic direction or something, and they just pick up Mein Kampf, there's always going to be, you know, some people where this will like enforce their worldview, or it will make them more hateful, or it's going to kind of be a negative influence on them. But I think that, you know, any form of media can probably kind of turn that way.
It could be dangerous because somebody might take that idea and make it come true.
Mein Kampf would be dangerous, perhaps because it could lead people down a bad path if they were to develop those ideas and take them on as their own.
As you see, many people have said that the government should not ban the book and that people should read it. What do you think?